Hello everyone, my name is Rosie Francis and my presentation is on diversity and representation in children's literature, why it matters, and the tools that we can use to help identify authentic reads. The graphic on the screen was created by the Cooperative Children's Book Center and the School of Education, the University of Wisconsin-Madison. The graphic is based on an essay by Dr. Lynn Sims Bishop titled Mirrors, Windows, and Sliding Glass Doors. In her essay, Dr. Bishop talks about the importance of representation in children's literature. Books provide children with mirrors in which they can see themselves, windows to look into the life of others, and sliding glass doors through which they can enter fully into the experiences they are reading about. And when the light is just right, a window can also be a mirror. According to the graphic, only 23% of books published, 23% of picture books published, show any diverse characters at all. What does this mean? A character in a picture book is 4 times more likely to be a dinosaur than an American Indian child, and twice more likely to be a rabbit than an Asian Pacific or an Asian Pacific American child. Even more troubling, the representation of non-white children are often problematic and feature hurtful racial stereotypes. Notice the cracks and broken pieces in the mirrors that the children are using to look at themselves. Why does authentic representation matter? Grace Lin, the author of books such as Our Food, The Year of the Dog, Big Mooncake for Little Star, tells this story in her TED Talk, The Windows and Mirrors of Your Child's Bookshelf. Growing up, Grace loved The Wizard of Oz and wanted to play Dorothy in the school play. However, she was told that she could never be Dorothy because Dorothy was not Chinese. When Lin's teacher chose to read The 5 Chinese Brothers by Claire Bishop, Lin's classmates immediately pointed to her and said, "They are Chinese, just like you." Have you ever felt horrified by your reflection in a mirror? Asks Lin. Because, she says, that is how she felt every time she was reminded of her ethnicity. The problem with stereotypes like the one in the 5 Brothers story is that they show partial truths and seek to reinforce them as the whole truth through repeated representation, says Professor Kai, author of Multicultural Representation and Literature for Children and Young Adults. The devastating effect it had on a young child to see her culture thus represented through such ludicrously comical and extremely hurtful images is unforgivable. We need books that will both empower our children and help them build their self-esteem. Here are some tools that scholars like Dr. Debbie Rees, Dr. Don Quigley, authors Grace Lin, Jacqueline Woodson, and Uma Krishnaswamy recommend. Representation. Is it valid, and valid for whom? Saina Chacko, the founder of Represent Us All, explains, we need inclusive stories that feature children of color that is not about their foreignness, but as someone who is a normal part of our community and does not need explanation. Voice. Voice is important from the point of view the stories are told and who is telling them. Jacqueline Woodson, in her essay, Who Can Tell My Story?, equates stories and telling stories to walking into a house, sitting at the dinner table, and sharing the bread that is dipped in the common experience of that family. Genre. Vary and balance genre. Stories featuring Asian characters tend to be predominantly about exotic traditions, myths, and legends. Yes, these stories are important, but if we only show one aspect of a culture, we are not conveying the true richness or the current reality of that culture. View your text through a critical lens. Look at the different perspectives that different readers can interpret or view the text and illustrations through. Imagine yourself as a child of color reading the story. Does it teach empathy or does it make you feel like an outcast? As Dr. Debbie Reese says, no matter how good a book or story might be, its magic can be completely ruined by a single phrase. Now the big question, is it selection or censorship when we promote certain books and not others? A selector wishes to promote quality, authentic literature that may challenge established norms. A censor, on the other hand, is fearful of controversy. In a library situation, if we deny access to books, problematic books included, yes, we are censoring. On the other hand, if on the way to retrieving those books, we also suggest options that offer different perspectives, then we're doing the job of a selector. We also need to place our trust in the intelligence of our children by offering them these options. Diversity work can often be exhausting and a constant struggle against the status quo where the default is white, but it is important work. Inclusive storytelling helps every child find and cement their place on this earth. Says Arthur Gracelyn, kids need both mirrors and windows to teach them empathy and self-worth, and the books on our bookshelf need to reflect that. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for watching.